was 36 when I finally realized I didn't owe anyone an explanation for who I had become. It was a cold, overcast Thanksgiving morning when Liam and I loaded up the car. He was my whole world, 10-year-old, curious and kind, with a stubborn streak that I lived and feared. We lived in the Nashville, just the two of us in a small but cozy apartment. But laughter echoed through the hallway and cereal was often dinner. We didn't have much, but we had peace. Until days like this one, family days, rolled on around. As I drove the familiar 2-hour route to my parents' house in rural Kentucky, my stomach churned with that old, familiar ache. A blend of dread and obligation, like I was heading into a performance I didn't audition for but somehow was expected to star in. My dad's house sat on 3 acres of land, with the same chipped white fence and American flag hanging slightly cropped on that porch. Nothing ever changed here. Not the house, nor the judgment, nor the heretic. My younger brother, Blake, was already there when we pulled up. His Tesla was parked in the driveway like a toffee. I could already hear his voice through the front door, confident and smooth, probably detailing stories of how many hearts he'd built this quarter. Corporate law suited him, cool, sharp, and unapologetic. Happy Thanksgiving, my mom greeted us with a forced cheerfulness. He hugged Liam tightly and gave me the kind of hug you give someone who haven't forgiven but still feel obligated to touch. The house smelled like sack, putter, and tension. Liam ran off to find his cousins. I took a deep breath and stepped inside, reminded myself like I always did. You can make it through a few hours. Just smile, just get through dinner. But this year, things hit differently. At the table, the conversation, as always, strayed towards accomplishments. Blake talked about his new condo in Georgetown, the federal case he just helped settle, the new woman he was dating. This runs from Princeton. He added like a punchline only he understood. I sat there, cutting turkey for Liam, silently counting the seconds until it was socially acceptable to leave. Then came the moment I'd feared. So, Madison, my father said, with that thin smile he deserved for people he tolerated out of duty. Still running your side hustle? It's not a side hustle, Dad, I said, my tone calm and firm. It's an e-commerce business. We've expanded quite a bit this year. It is the borrow. Right. Selling t-shirts on Instagram? Very impressive. Blake chuckled into his wine. My mom winced. Liam looked down at his plate, his fork frozen in midair. My chest tightened. I glanced at my son. His face flushed, embarrassed for me. That was the shift. The trigger. I'd spent years absorbing my father's disdain, but watching it bleed into Liam's perception of me as a line I wasn't willing to cross. I set my fork. You know what? I said softly, but every word landed like stone. We're going to head out. My father blinked. Excuse me? I stood, pulling Liam's jacket from the back of his chair. We are done here. My mom's eyes darted between us. Madison, sit down. Don't make a scene. There's no scene, I said, just clarity. Liam stood beside me, confused but quiet. I took his hand. Let's go, Bird. My father's voice rose. You walk out that door. Don't bother coming back. I paused at the doorway, turned, and for the first time in my life, looked that man straight in the eye without fear. That's exactly the plan. The cool air outside felt like depths. Sharp, clean, honest. We drove in silent at first. Liam clutched my hand from the passenger seat, his thumb running over my necklace like he was memorizing the shape of safety. "Mom," he asked, voice small, "did you get in trouble?" I swallowed through the sting in my chest. "No, baby, I just remembered I didn't belong where I'm not respected." He nodded, and something shifted in him, too. Like the soul of his self-worth had just been protected from the poison of shame. Poison of shame. The truth? My father didn't know a damn thing about me. He didn't know that the t-shirt thing he mocked was a 7-figure business that would just hit our 50 lakh dollar order. That I'd been on 3 podcasts in the last 2 months talking about women-led startups and brand building. He didn't know I'd just hired my 48th employee, or that the business was mine. Bootstrapped, built during Liam's naps, defined through sleepless nights and quiet tears. More than that, he didn't know I was the one who had kept their life afloat for the last 5 years. I had paid off my parents' mortgage anonymously when I Blake caught into Colombia and didn't qualify for enough financial aid. That was me. When Mom needed dental surgery but their insurance wouldn't cover it, I wired the money quietly. Their Florida vacation every spring, my business paid for them. I never asked for thanks. I never even told them. Part of the thought that if I just gave enough, one day, they had look at me differently, with pride, with love, that they never came. And suddenly, I didn't need it to. The next morning I called my accountant and halted all sport. No more silent funding. No more anonymous rescues. I wasn't their safety net anymore. And I sure as hell wasn't their disappointment. 3 months later, Liam and I moved to a small coastal town in Northern California. Our house isn't big, but it has wide windows that let the sun flood every room. And at night, you can hear the ocean hum like a lullaby. I visited Liam at a local school that values kindness over test schools. I planted hubs in clay pots outside our kitchen window. I learned how to sleep without tension curled in my spine. And then I built something new. A foundation for single mothers trying to rebuild their lives from scratch. I call it her lighthouse project because I know that. Because I know what it felt like to need one. We provided mentorship, grants, childcare, stipends. I spoke at conferences. I told the truth, not the shiny, polished truth, but the real one, that sometimes your family will never clap for you. And you have to clap for yourself anyway. A few months later my mother called. Her voice trembled the moment I answered. "Madison," she whispered. "We didn't know about everything, about what you did, your dad. We're both so sorry." I let the silence sit. Let her feel the weight. Let her feel the weight of what she'd never seen. She cried. "I didn't. I'd like to visit you," she said. "If that's okay." I thought for a moment. Not out of spite, but out of care for my own boundaries. "You can, but things are different now. I won't be who I used to be." He understood. Sometime, people wouldn't see your words, until they need something from it. Sometime, they will only love the version of you that stays small, quiet, convenient. But I'm not small anymore. I'm not the black sheep. I'm not the rebel daughter. I'm not the shameful secret of the stroke act at dinner table. I'm a mother, a builder, a woman who learned how to clap for Heart 7 no one else would. Thanksgiving used to mean proving myself. Now, it just means peace. And that, my friends, is the most delicious thing I have ever tasted.